Welcome back. Let's go see the Zaid. Then I'm gonna do the Normandy crash site. Find all the dog tags and such.
What's this area of the ship?
Normandy's
That's all for now.
logging you out, Shepard.
Zaid.
Thinking about past missions. Got a minute? You might learn something. So you knew Archangel from before? Interesting. Knew a lot of men taking jobs to kill the son of a bitch. I never saw the point. You know, I wanted the same thing. A whole lot of mercs dead. Hell of a sniper, though. And he kept himself alive with all the mercs in Omega after him. That ain't easy.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember how many Cerberus operatives I've killed. Lost track around 50. Guess your elusive man's big on forgiveness. Hey, don't touch. That rifle's older than you are. I call her Jessie. That's my lucky charm. More men have been killed with that gun than died in the Skillian Blitz. The day I laid her to rest was the saddest day of my life. I'd give up every weapon I own for one more mission with that shitty old rifle.
Yeah.
Beauty, isn't it? Pried that off the Krogan warlord, Kazak. Used to run the blood pack out of Omega about 17 years ago. Wasn't even a job. The guy just thought he'd hijack a freighter I was hitchhiking on. Big mistake. I goaded Kazak into one-on-one combat. Took out his legs, grabbed his gun, and killed every blood pack bastard in the room. That was the most beaten Krogan I've ever seen. Kept a helmet to remind me of that pained expression.
You've got surveillance in his room. And what else?
Oh yeah, that's a model of the Veracon. Turian frigate. Hell of a ship. I led a mission to bring that thing down from the inside with just 5 men and whatever guns we could bring. No chance of success, but we did it. Everyone died but me. So I made out like a bandit. My first impossible mission as an independent contractor. There's been many since, but nothing so goddamn sweet as watching that Turian warship crash planet-side.
Zaid.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
Gladly. That was fun. Okay. Yeah, time for the Normandy crash site.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Oh, finally the Galaxy mod is working. And you can call this having a shitload of DLC. You know, some of this is pre-order stuff that... Well, with pre-order stuff there were codes that you could buy from people if they had them. Some of them are still for sale right now. I was looking at the code for the... I think it's GameStop. Pre-order the Terminus armor. Right now it's on eBay for around $300. That's a lot, but it's and you know it's been 2 years since the game came out. There were a lot more codes available 2 years for a lot of stuff. Wait, I forgot one thing here.
Fuel reserves at 50%.
Yes, CD, yes.
Launching probe. Probe launched.
It's quite hard to get the Terminus armor or other pre-order DLC. I think for Mass Effect 3 buying DLC like that, you know, from people who have the codes, it will be impossible. At least for certain DLC. I'm thinking Origin, Origin exclusive, Origin pre-order exclusive DLC. They do have that. Oh, I'm just gonna go to the Normandy crash site. And I'm gonna pre-order Mass Effect 3 today, the collector's edition. Hopefully it will come at a reasonable date so I can play the game quite quickly. And start the let's play of that.
Probe launched.
One thing I really dislike about EA games is this whole idea of
Probe away.
pre-order DLC and other stuff. And it's one thing I do like in a game like, say, Skyrim. I'm just using the example since Skyrim does,
Probe launched.
as far as I know, Skyrim doesn't have pre-order DLC. I'm not sure about it. I don't think it does. I've checked. I didn't really care about DLC. You know,
Probe launched.
I just bought the game, the standard edition.
Probe launched.
Okay. Explore the Normandy crash site. Let's go down there. There we go.
Probe launched.
You can talk with me around to upgrade the scanner.
Launching probe.
I think I'm gonna do that once I finish
Nothing
this
on our
mission.
sensors.
Okay, anomaly detected. There's 20 dog tags on this planet. Some of them are quite annoying to find. Just keep looking for them. Okay. You don't need to do it, but you know, from an RP perspective, I just feel like doing it. I think this shows how much the Alliance actually cared about Shepard, since they only found the crash site now, after 2 years. Then again, it is indeterminate systems. Okay. There's the Mako, which will come back in Mass Effect 3. Some of them are in crates. There's some element 0. Okay, another dog tag. Look for gloves around that area. You can place the monument wherever you want. I have a good spot for it. Okay, another one. Yeah, flashbacks. This DLC is purely fan service. Okay, another one. As I said, there's 20. You gain more money for each of them, and you gain experience for 12 experience. It's not much, but it does add up. The Normandy and the Citadel, I think. I'm gonna place the monument here, but once I find all the dog tags. Okay, another one. I'm sure if I checked this area already. No, I didn't. There's another one. Ashley. Though this was Caden's area and Normandy. One thing that's surprising with the Mass Effect series is how many people have started playing Mass Effect 2 who didn't really care at all about Mass Effect 1. And with Mass Effect 3 you hear of a lot of people who, you know, watch the trailers, you know, hear news about it and say, well, I'm gonna buy this game, it's the first time I'm buying a Mass Effect game. I think the Mass Effect team has delivered on every single game and DLC they've made. and they've really worked to improve the games. The BioWare team, not so much. Though, to give the BioWare team some credit, I think they were really forced into making Dragon Age 2 like that. I think Mass Effect 2 was such a huge success compared to Origins. I mean, some people think Origins sold more than Mass Effect 2. I really disagree. And even if it did sell more, a bit more or equally, Origins took more money, more time, a lot more time to develop than Mass Effect 2 did and Mass Effect 1. Hell, I'd say the cost of making Mass Effect 1 plus 2 would probably be lower than making, or equal, of making just Dragon Age Origins. And I think that's something EA took into account. Like, hey, you made these two games, Mass Effect 1 and 2, which together sold a lot more than Origins, for about the same price. Get your shit together, BioWare. That's what I would do if I was owning EA. Just from a purely business perspective. It took 5 years to develop Origins. And it didn't get that great reviews, whereas Mass Effect 2 was... even Mass Effect 1 was RPG of the year around on almost every major review site, or a lot of them. Not so much for Origins. And Mass Effect 2 was Game of the Year, RPG of the Year for the vast majority of review sites. That's something important. So you've got different entries here from Presley. This is Presley's datapad. This third entry only appears if you tell Presley that he should he shouldn't distrust aliens on the crew. Hell, Presley has a datapad when he's dead before, well, shortly before he dies. Now Shepard has a helmet, there we go. Shepard's old helmet. How many do I have right now? Okay, 17 out of 20. The last few dog tags are always the hardest to find. There's one there. Now where's the last two of them? Oh, I could end the mission right here. Just gonna check. Sometimes they can be very hard to spot. One thing I was considering with Mass Effect 3 is the length of it. Now we know so far that Mass Effect 1 has roughly... Wait, did I miss anything? No, that's a datapad. Mass Effect 1 has around 20,000 lines of dialogue. Mass Effect 2 has around 25,000. I'm not sure if these numbers include DLC or not. But I'd say DLC for Mass Effect 2 would probably come at around 1,000, maybe 2,000, all of it put together, lines recorded. That's just my impression. In Mass Effect 3, we know they've got 40,000 lines recorded. That's a lot. You need to consider that a game that's almost 40,000 is almost like Mass Effect 1 plus Mass Effect 2 almost put together. So it's gonna be a huge game in terms of dialogue. Star Wars: The Old Republic, the BioWare's MMO, which holds the current Guinness Book record for most lines recorded in a video game, has 200,000 lines of dialogue. And that thing is massive. So with 40,000, you know, 1/5 of what Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm not sure if Star Wars: The Old Republic has more than 200,000 lines. Could have. Oh, and that's the last one. I'm expecting Mass Effect 1 was a game that took roughly 30 hours. At least it took for me to finish it all in my walkthrough. Mass Effect 2 game of around 40 hours. In fact, I even have a save here to show you guys. Like, these are my other characters, and on all of these characters, like, I've completed every single thing on all of them. The Infiltrator, 33 hours, and John Shepard, 36 hours. So Mass Effect 2 is roughly a 40-hour game, completing everything in the game and all that. Mass Effect 1, 30 hours. I'm expecting Mass Effect 3 to be longer than Origins. Origins was around 60 hours, though it could go even to 100 hours. I'm just saying this based on the number of dialogue. On the number of dialogue lines recorded in the game. Okay. And that's done. Of course, the length is can vary. I need to get on that shuttle. But I'm fairly sure Mass Effect 3 will be at the very least 50 hours, if not 60, 70, something like that. It's gonna be a very good game. And I'm just talking here about the campaign. I'm not talking here about multiplayer. I'm not talking about co-op here. Co-op probably will add a few hundred hours for each person. Of course, with the single player, you also have replay value. I'm probably gonna play Mass Effect 3 in around 4 months, around 5-6 times, probably even more. I have a lot of Shepards, and I want to go through
Commander,
with
you've
all of
received a
them.
new message at your private terminal.
Okay, from Admiral Hackett. Okay, let me just check this DLC. I've got the Kestrel armor. Okay, let's just go over all the armors. The Cerberus assault armor. It's got shields, health, and heavy weapon ammo capacity. Fairly decent, but not all that amazing. Though it does its job. Collector armor. I kinda regret bothering to get this, because it's got regeneration bonus. What the hell do I care? Health 20%, not shields, health. I guess it's decent enough. And storm speed. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. And it looks like, well, I guess it looks okay. Blood Dragon armor. You get this particular set if you've bought Dragon Age Origins. Power damage by 15%, shield strength by 10%. This is a very good armor for vanguards and very good armor for biotechs in general, or even techs like engineers, infiltrators, etc. Very good armor set. Terminus armor. Shields. You got extra ammo, shields, and storm speed. Fairly good. And finally, the Infernal armor. Negotiation bonus. Tech and biotic power damage, storm speed 10%. Personally, I like Kestrel armor, so let me just go over this. I hate the helmet, but that's why I have a beret. Sentry interface, I like the recon hood out of the Dr. Pepper. Funny thing about Dr. Pepper, there were some universal codes around a year ago until June last year that were around the internet that anyone could use for this DLC. You can't use them anymore, though, unless you've already claimed the DLC. So this is the Kestrel helmet. You also got the Archon visor that reduces the recharge time of your powers by 5%. Reduces the delay before shields start regenerating. If it didn't look like shit, I would use this. It's fairly good. Recon Hood is fairly good as well. Weapon damage by 5%. The Umbra Visor power damage. The Sentry interface shield strength. If you don't have any DLC, this is the, and you've got a sniper rifle or anything, this is the one I recommend. Headshot damage by 10%. Quite useful. Also you can use the N7 armor, but it's not all that great. So I'm just gonna stick with the Barrett. I don't gain any bonuses, but I know how to play the game. Anyway, for chest pieces, the capacitor upgrade chest plate is the best. No discussion if you don't have any DLC. If you have DLC, then go for the Kestrel torso sheath, melee damage, weapon damage, and shield strength. Very useful. But even the capacitor chest plate compares to the Kestrel torso sheath. Different bonuses, but you know, 10% reduction in the delay before shield start regenerating. Very useful. Then 7 chest plate, power damage by 3%. Not that incredibly useful. Okay, so Kestrel torso. Shoulder guards. The N7 shoulder guards give you 3% weapon damage. They're fairly good. In fact, I think they're the best if you don't have any DLC. I don't remember. But then you have the Kestrel shoulder pieces. Shields by 8%, melee damage by 10%. Or weapon damage. Depends on your pick. Okay, and 7 gauntlets or Kestrel arm sheathing. You've got weapon damage by 3%, shields by 3%, melee damage by 10%. Then 7 gauntlets, health by 3%. Okay, then you have the legs. Then 7 greaves, or just a second. I've got quite a few. I've got the simulator conduits for storm speed, or the Kestrel power pack. To be honest, I don't really know what you should be looking for as Vanguard. The Vanguard really can dance around his opponent, so storm speed could be very useful for Vanguard, but I don't think so for other classes. I'll definitely see that. Bear in mind, I finished the game as a Vanguard. And I've got the Vanguard Let's Play on TG and Let's Play right now. So yeah, going for the Kestrel power pack. But I'm gonna switch to the Terminus armor. I would have done so for the Archangel mission, but I forgot to do so. So in the next recruitment mission, going with that. Okay, let's go select weapons. Since I'm using the Terminus armor, I'm gonna use the heavy weapon for that, which is the Black Hole weapon, the Black Storm. Pistol, the Phalanx. What I don't like about this thing is the aiming system. I think it's shit, but it does a lot of damage, and it's very, very good. Hands down the best. Then Scissor, it sucks on Shepard. It's amazing on all your squad mates. So I'm gonna stick with the Mantis. The Mantis does more damage, and you've got a better thermal clip ratio. I mean, you really get very few thermal clips with the Mantis when you pick them up. Okay, the Katana shotgun, the Eviscerator, or the Gift Plasma shotgun. The Eviscerator is fairly good. It does long range damage. I'm not sure about weapon damage though, which does the most. I think at close range, you know, at point blank range, if you get there, the Katana does a lot of damage. In fact, the Katana is very, very useful because it has 5 shots before you need to eject the thermal clip. There's a shotgun called the Krogan shotgun, which I'm gonna use the Eviscerator, which has 1 shot. It does a lot of damage at 1 shot, but it only has 1 shot before you need to reload, and that kind of sucks. Okay, the Vindicator rifle. The Vindicator, if you don't have any DLC, is the hands down the best in the game. The Reverend I don't really like. The Reverend really sucks at hitting its target. Supposedly the Reverend overall does more damage if you're at point blank range, but only Shepard can use the Reverend, so use the Vindicator. on your squad mates, on yourself. The collector assault rifle. The collector assault rifle is probably best used if you on a squad mate, so they can take down shields. So if you're someone like, say, a vanguard or engineer or something that really can't take down shields, then you should use the collector assault rifle on your squad mate, so they'll take down the shields for you, because it has a bonus against barriers and shields, if I recall correctly. And then the Mattock. This is the best assault rifle. Okay, that's for Shepard. Garrus, I'm gonna give him the Mattock and then Scissor. Frankly, I'm not gonna use anything else other than Scissor. And the Phalanx. More than also the Phalanx. Saeed. Since I'm a soldier and I have disruptor ammo, I don't really need the collector assault rifle on my squad mates. And that's it. So yeah. Next mission, recruit the Krogan. Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out.